Welcome to fourth grade health. This should be your last class for the day, and it's Friday, so you get the weekend. So hopefully you are all caught up and you're not doing this on the weekend, but if you are, school will be over soon, and so just hold off for a few weeks. Keep working, keep plugging away, and then you'll get your summer break, which I think we're all looking forward to. So we're going to be talking about some about hair, some more about our skin, and so let's take a look. We're looking at pages 69. They're at the bottom of the quick check, the color of your hair. We're going to be reading, you're going to be reading all the way to page 72. For homework for this lesson, you're going to reread pages 64 to 72. Do CCU 5 on page 79, be all on paper. Review your anatomy worksheet 5. Okay, so look that over again. If you didn't finish it up. And study pages 64 to 71 for your quiz on Monday. Specifically, study the picture of the skin, the block of skin that it gives. Specifically study that, okay? So, your hair color. So we've talked about the root of the hair, whether it's curly or straight. So your hair color is determined by a pigment that's deposited in new hair cells before they grow out of a follicle, okay? Red hair contains an iron pigment that is not found in any other color of hair. So Sadie, you're very unique in that. Which is good. So red hair is different than pretty much any other hair, and you may have seen that as a lot of people have. There's a lot of people with blonde hair, a lot of people with brown, and even black hair, and so red is a more it's a less common hair color, but you've got Chapels have 3 in your family that have red hair, so that's pretty cool, I think. And then as you grow older, they found that the pigment does not go into the new hair that is the new hair cells, and so it gradually loses its color, becoming white. And so the mixture of pigmented and unpigmented make gray. Okay, and so we haven't really discovered why hair loses its color, but it does, and that is why there are lots of people that color their hair when it turns gray. They don't want to have gray hair or white hair, but I don't know. That's totally up to you what you feel. So we're going to now look at some of our skin. And so a subcutaneous layer is the layer of fat. It's the third layer of your skin, and so it stores your energy, okay? And in this layer, we have, it helps cushion your body from shocks and jolts. It also will help holding heat during the cold season, okay? Can you name all 3 layers of skin now? Because there's one on the board, okay? So what are the other 2? The epidermis and the dermis, and now the subcutaneous layer, okay? So these are the 3 layers of skin. Now, burns can affect 1, 2, or all 3 of the layers of skin, okay? So we've got 1st-degree burns, 2nd degree, which it didn't have me right, so I didn't write it, and 3rd-degree burns, okay? And so we're going to talk about each of these differently, okay? So the first one is a 1st-degree burn. That goes through the very top layer of skin. It is like when you get a sunburn, or maybe you touch something hot and the tips of your fingers or your palm may be burned a little bit. It's very tender. It's very red, but it doesn't blister up and the skin isn't broken, okay? So it's just a 1st-degree burn. You should put it under cold, cool water, not ice, not icy. You can apply a cold, wet cloth to it. And if the pain continues, you can apply a first aid cream or spray. I would suggest aloe vera, or if you actually have a real aloe plant, the aloe from that is perfect for first-degree burns, because it relieves that, the burn. It makes it cool to the touch, and it helps heal it faster. Aloe is very good for your skin, and for you. Do not put butter or grease on a burn, okay? It used to be said that you put butter or grease on a burn. They have since discovered that because those are fats, they keep in the heat and increase the chance of infection. Butter also contains salt, which stings when it's applied to a burn, and so it's really not good because it can cause infection. It also will sting, and so you don't want to put butter on it. A second-degree burn goes through the second layer of skin, which is the what? The dermis, okay, very good. And so that one will form blisters, feels extremely painful. So an electrical appliance burn, so if you were to get I think of this on my forehead because when I was little, I had bangs that my mom would curl, and sometimes she would slip and she'd get the hot curling iron and it would sit right on my forehead. And of course, your forehead doesn't have a very thick epidermis, and so it quickly goes to the second layer of skin. And so I would say that I probably had my fair share of second-degree burns on my forehead from that. And it may have just been a first-degree burn, but they were painful. But the second-degree burn may come from boiling liquid. So if you are getting helping cook dinner and you're putting noodles in the boiling water and it splashes up and it gets on your skin, if that doesn't get taken, if you don't get it under cool water pretty quickly, the longer it sits on there, it can develop into a second-degree burn. You don't really want to break the blisters if you can help it, and you don't want to use cotton balls on it because the fibers from the cotton balls can get stuck in there and can cause infection. So like the first-degree burn, you should put it under cool water or have cold cloth applied to it. Gently blot the area dry and cover it with a dry, sterile bandage is the best way. Now, depending on the location of the burn and how large of an area it covers, it may require medical attention. So you may need to go to a doctor or a minute clinic or something like that. They're just an easy walk-in clinic. They would be able to help with a second-degree burn. Now, a third-degree burn always, always, always requires medical attention because it goes through the third layer of skin, that's subcutaneous, and the entire thickness of the skin is destroyed. The burn area may turn white or black, okay? So this would be if you were near an open flame, an open fire, like a fire pit or something, and you somehow fell into it. Third-degree burn will be caused from that. Or if for some, if we wouldn't want this, but if your house had caught on fire and you were trying to escape and something fell and fire got on your clothing or just on your skin, you could get a third-degree burn just from that. And it's very scary for that, but it does, the nerve endings are damaged or destroyed. And so there's really actually little pain, little or no pain with a third-degree burn in that area. Now, you may have like a second-degree burn around it that would hurt. So you don't want to touch, clean, or apply any medication to a third-degree burn. Don't remove any clothing that sticks to the burn. You can cause more problems that way. If possible, cover the area with a sterile nonstick bandage or pad or a clean cloth, such as strips of a clean sheet. Covering it can help prevent infection. And so it also relieves some of that, any pain that might be still there, because when oxygen touches a burn, it makes it hurt worse, okay? So those are our burns. I know that those aren't the most fun to talk about. Seeing the pictures of them is can be a little, make your stomach a little queasy, but it is important to understand what types there are, so that if something were to happen to you or someone that you know, then you kind of know how to treat it, because there's certain things you don't want to do, and if you do the wrong thing, you can cause the person or yourself more pain and problems later. Okay, so then we're going to look at how our skin makes oil. Okay, so the sebaceous glands are the oil glands, and they make an oily substance called sebum, and sebum helps keep your skin moist and smooth and soft. Okay, if you're it's a thin layer of oil that covers your entire body. It helps waterproof your body and prevents too much water from evaporating through your skin. But if you stay in the sun too long, it evaporates pretty fast, and it's faster than your dermis can make more sebum. And so wind can also dry this out, and if you don't have sufficient oil, it becomes so dry that it cracks, okay? And so that's why your skin would crack. Your sweat glands control your temperature, and also helps it does help remove some waste from your body. So like dirt and dust and things can be removed with the sweat. So it helps maintain a normal body temperature of about 98.6 or around there. There's many places that it's plentiful underneath your arms. You may notice when you're outside or when you're playing a game, maybe of basketball or soccer or something, you may notice that under your arms gets really sweaty, the palms of your hands, the soles of your feet, your back, on your forehead, and sweat will come through this. Now, usually when it comes out, it will evaporate, but sometimes it's coming out so much, or it's really hot or humid, that you will have that perspiration form on your skin, and so then you'll see, you'll be able, it'll be right there that you can just wipe off. And so so sometimes it forms and stays on the outside of your skin until you wipe it off or whatever. But it just helps cool your body down when you've been doing hard work or been out in the sun. It'll help cool your body down, but then it can also be a protective layer in your skin to help keep your body warm if you're in the cold. Okay, the blood vessels in your skin help keep your normal body temperature, or your body temperature, normal as well. The food that we eat helps produce energy for our body and the heat that it needs. And so some of the heat passes through the skin and comes to the air through the blood vessels. When you get too warm, they expand so that more blood can flow, so that so it kind of cools you off. And then sometimes when it's cold, they contract, they get smaller, so that less blood flows, so that it keeps whatever body heat inside. And so the less blood flows into your skin, and the smaller amount of heat passes through the skin to the outside air. So that just helps regulate your body temperature. And sometimes, these things are not, sometimes your body may not be working properly and your body temperature isn't regulated right. And so then, then you need to see why that is. And sometimes it requires going to a doctor. Sometimes it just requires just taking a look at what foods you're eating, and maybe changing that, and it would help But there, your body, it will tell you different things. Like when you're tired, it will tell you when you're hot, it tells you when you're cold. And so listening to the body and what it's telling you can help prevent some of the things that that we've talked about, so listen to what your body's telling you so that you can know how to respond. And so I'm gonna also have you do the quick check along. The quick check would be for after you read these pages. So go back and read page 69 to 72 and answer these 7 questions for the quick check. And then your homework I had mentioned before. So if you need that again, go back to the beginning of the video and listen again. And this should be your last class for the day. So have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week.